we're gonna get some to see music on here from Uppbeat, and then go, because they're an okay music thing. So what we're doing today, I'll turn that down a little bit, is we're making the Ken doll outfit. So what you're gonna do is go get the pattern on my Etsy, and we're gonna be making this outfit today, like what it looks like. And then we're going to make it out of this fabric. The other tools you're going to need are a measuring stick, a pair of tiny scissors, a big pair of scissors, and then a piece of Velcro, and these to help you pull the needle through when you do the elastic. So we're going to need elastic, thread, and a bobbin, and then your pins as well. So let's cut out our pattern first. Where are my red scissors? Over there. Hi! Making a broad Ken outfit today. Let's see if I can do add as moderator. Thanks. That should be good. I think I made you the moderator, my dear. So we're cutting out the pattern now. If you want this pattern, you can go to my Etsy and go get it. It's up right now. You can purchase it for only $5. Then get to work on the wonderful Ken outfit. Good morning, everyone. Alright, we got the shorts pattern cut out now. Now we're going to get the rest of it cut out. Then we can get started on the sewing process. Uppbeat is our music today, because they are a free music service. Alright, I'm going to get this part cut out as well. The shirt. These are the front and back pieces of the shirt. So if you need this pattern, I have it provided on my Etsy. And then you can join along and make a Ken outfit as well. Almost there. Cutting out the fabric pattern is the longest part. Getting it cut out and then ready to cut out the fabric next. The best thing to do for a Barbie outfit is to make sure you have plenty of fat quarters lying around, because those are perfect for making simple Barbie doll outfits. I'm always open to saying hello and meeting new people. So now we got the sleeve, the back piece, the front piece, and then the shorts as well. So now we're going to set our little Ken aside, and we're going to take the fabric. This is going to be the shirt. And we're using Uppbeats as our music today, because they have free music. And it's amazing to listen to while you're crafting. So we're going to fold the fabric, make sure that the good side is facing towards you. Then you can take your pattern piece. This is the front piece, and it says cut on the fold, and you take it. And what on the fold means is you take your fabric and fold it in half. Then you set the folded area right up against your fabric like so. Then you cut around, like you leave this uncut right here. That helps when you want to open the shirt up. There we go, let's get it in frame so you all can see. And we're going to cut the neckline, cut along the top there, cut around the sleeve area, cut down the sides. Hold that because it's going to try and fall. I'm just going to have to go get it. There we go, it didn't fall, good. Now you stay there. Then we're going to cut the sides to make sure everything's even, because you want to make sure that you have an even space. There we go. Now the front piece is cut out, and that's what, like, see, you have cut unfold. Now you have a full shirt piece. This will be the front of your shirt. So now we're going to have this orange floral, like leaves, right on the chest of your doll. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to cut out the two back pieces now. So, excuse those, move these. Alright, now it's time to cut out the two back pieces. So, you're going to fold your fabric in half again, because that will help you have two pieces, so you don't have to cut them individually. So this one we're going to cut all the way around it. On the sides, and then just like that. I'll go get that piece of fabric in a minute, because for now we're focusing on cutting the back pieces out. So just keep cutting around, and then you cut right here. Uppbeat is the music we're using today because they have free music. I'm saying that just in case for copyright reasons, because they said they'd put a link in there, so I'll put a link after I'm finished with the live, and it helps with copyright issues. So just to make sure I'm telling you which musics we're using today. I'm going to turn this one up a little, because excuse me, I'm in the middle of, what do you think you're doing? She just decided to hop right in while we're in the middle of videoing. She's been trying to fall for days. She just decided to fall now. It's lovely. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, she just came out of nowhere. She fell from the sky. She thinks she's gorgeous, which she is. I love my Liliana. Liliana is the cutest. But she's not the star of the show today. Ken is. So now we're going to cut out the shorts. Do the same thing. Fold your fabric in half so that you have two pieces, and then you can put your pants right there, and then you can cut it out. Along the sides like this. Cut right here. Then cut along the top. And then you can cut down here, along the sides, and then cut right here as well. Then you can cut along the bottom to get rid of all those little furries. Then your pieces are ready to go. So now we have the shorts, the shirt. This is the front pieces, like front piece, back piece, and it's okay that these overlap because that is for, oh, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate those. This is for the Velcro. You have one piece, and then this piece folds on top, and then that's where the Velcro is going to go. So this fold's going to be folded, sewn, and then it will be ready to put the Velcro on. So that's that. Now we need the sleeves, so we'll be ready to get started on sewing up the shirt. So again, if you need these pattern pieces, they are available on my Etsy. Only $5 to get the pattern. Then you can follow along with this video, and then make your own Ken shirt. Now, I'm gonna go get the fabric because it fell under my desk. There we go. And I need to also get the, here we go. So I want the palms to be facing up, so we're gonna go this way this time when cutting out the fabric. So we're gonna set the sleeves on top of the folded fabric, and then we can get started when cutting. Just cut around the entire sleeve, like so. Then you can cut that, cut down here as well. There we go, now the sleeve's cut out, and we can get started on making the shirt. It's time to put it together. So now we have all our pieces. We have 2 sleeves. Woo! So sorry. I knocked my camera over. I didn't mean to do that. So we got the front piece, 2 back pieces, and then the 2 sleeves. Then we have the front and back pieces for the shorts as well. So we're gonna start with the shirt and get my machine, and then we'll start putting together the shirt. So here is our Brother sewing machine. That's what we're gonna be using today, because Brother machines are great for making doll clothes. They're small and portable, instead of the big giant quilting machines. Quilting machines are a bit more difficult to work with because they're so large. So we're going to set this stuff aside, plug in my machine, and then we'll thread the stuff together. Thread up the machine so it will be ready to sew with. So I'll take out my other thread and put in the bobbin. So there's this. And then we're going to put the big thread into the machine. Then it goes up. Threading up our machine. Almost ready to go. There you go. And put the thread into the little notch. Perfect. I got it through. And now we'll be ready to make the shirt. So, like I said, that guy right there, put this right here. Ooh. Now I'm going to set you guys down so we can get closer to the machine. There we go. Perfect. Now we're in view of the machine, and we can get started by threading this up. Now it's ready to go. Okay, step 1 when putting the shirt together is we're going to sew the back pieces to the front piece. So I'm going to scooch the machine back a little bit so you guys can see the front and back pieces. It is very important when making a shirt that the bottom of the shirt lines up, because that will make your Velcro be nice and straight. You missed the aerial machine? Well, currently that machine is set up for PVC fabric. That will be another day that we learn how to do a PVC fabric. So we're going to pin the shoulders just like that. And then after we're done pinning everything to make sure it's secure in place, we're going to mark out where we're going to sew with our measuring tool, because that will help us stay nice and straight and know how much of a seam allowance we're doing. Today's seam allowances are 1/8 of an inch. So, let me get in the camera. I keep going out of the camera. Stay in the camera. So there's that in place. Now we gotta make sure that this lines up. It's doing good so far, lining up nicely. Gotta pin the bottom, because if you saw my short in an earlier video, I show you how to make sure that you can keep this all lined up, and then it won't, the Velcro won't be crooked when you reach the end of your project. So that, and then make sure this is in place. There we go, now it's ready. Now we're going to take our measuring stick. This is my go-to tool to make sure that you get the right amount of length you want. So we're going to take this and then mark right where we're going to sew. So let me get a pencil. I'm going to mark right here. You can also use chalk or a, I'm going to put you guys down a little bit more. There we go. You can use chalk or a, what's that thing called? You're able to use a iron to make it disappear. The, ink. It's like an iron resistant ink. There we go, that's it. Perfect. Now let's do it to the other one as well. Just mark right here and right here with our 1/8 inch marked out. So I know I keep moving the tool, but there we go. Perfect. Now let's put that pin back where it belongs. Down, up, down. There we go. Now that's perfectly pinned, and this is also perfectly pinned, so awesome sauce there. Now, the other thing that we gotta do is we're gonna bring the machine forward and then start to sew the shoulders into place. So we're gonna put this on here, and then start to sew. Sew on the line that you drew. Then it will be ready. I'm going to snap that, snip off the edges, and then go in and do it again. On the other side, we sewed the first side. Now it's time to sew the other one. Wait, hairs everywhere. There we go. Put this down. Ready to go. Perfect. Here we go. Now this is all put together. And then now we're going to do the neckline first, because if you watched another short of mine, doing the neckline first helps when putting the sleeves on, because you get a nice clean neckline and not a crooked one. So I'm going to scoot you guys this way. I like that the particular one that I'm using, the tripod, it's very smooth, so it allows me to move it around without jostling you guys around like crazy. So I'm going to do that. Pin the neckline into place. My music died. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you a little bit. Putting together a broadkin shirt today. and we're working on the neckline. Then we're also going to put the sleeves on. Sorry about the vibrating. Some of my notifications get kind of loud sometimes. There we go. Back to work. Turn this down a little bit. The only thing about fantasy music is it will start out really quiet and then it decides to build up. And then it's like, why do you have to be so loud? There. My annoying magnet is gone now. There we go. Now the neckline is fully pinned. Except for this back piece. There we go. Quiet down. It's like trying to be so loud. Overpowering. So we're gonna go across here, down here, and down there as well. To get that fully sewn. So we're gonna you. Now, back to the sewing machine. I forgot to use my measuring stick again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm doing an 1/8 of an inch here as well. Don't forget to use the measuring stick that you saw. And you can measure out an 1/8 of an inch for the neckline. Or it's probably even a bit smaller because this is Barbie clothes that we're working with. Barbie clothes are extremely small. So we're going to hand crank this because I don't want to miss. Hand cranking also helps out when sewing because you don't want to, when you don't want to miss, it really helps. Almost there to be ready to put on the sleeves. Now go. Sewing up the last bit of the back. I'm glad your Wi-Fi is back on, by the way. I saw your comment. There we go. I'm going to clip that. I'm using Uppbeats today for our music soundtrack because they have a bunch of free music that you can go through. I'll be leaving a link to Uppbeats down below after the live is over. This is not a sponsored video, I just don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm trying to mention it as many times as I can. So it's time to put the sleeve on, and what you gotta do is make sure you remember to set your sleeves, the middle of your sleeve, right with these flaps. Like the hem back here is what you want to pair the middle of your shirt with. Right there, the little sleeve, make sure it lines up with that. Then you'll be able to get it to reach one side and the other side. So there we go. Now it will reach to the other side. And you can pin that there as well. Just up and down motions. And you can purchase tiny pins or larger pins. So I always try to get the smaller ones because they work great for doll clothes. So we're nearly there to finishing the shirt already. We're gonna put this sleeve on and the other sleeve on, and then we'll be ready to close the shirt up and put the Velcro on. So don't hesitate to get your own pattern and follow along. So there's that, it's attached now. And then the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Put this sleeve on as well. I'm going to attach that, and then we're going to attach this right here. Just pinning everything in place so it won't move around when you try to sew. There we go. Now that both sleeves are attached, it's time to sew them. We're going to bring the sewing machine forward and then start sewing. This is 1/8 of an inch. You can make sure that you're doing it right with your measuring stick. Yep, that's exactly where I want to be, 1/8 of an inch. And if you want, you can use your measuring stick and draw a line of where you want to sew so you won't feel like you're off course. Alright, now I'm going to put the stranglies on this one and this side. And we're going to test to see if it made it by giving it a nice tug. So I make sure that everything's ready for selling on Etsy as I give it a little tug to make sure that everything's secure. And I check the other side as well to see if I like what it looks like. It looks perfect. So now we're going to take this down. Same thing, 1/8 of an inch. Yep. Everything checks out with a measuring stick, so I'm going to pin it in place. You can also do double checking with your measuring stick. Make sure you like everything. Perfect, now that's in place, and we're going to do the other side. We're using Uppbeats for our music today. I'll leave a link to the description down below when the live is over, so that we can give this beautiful people their credit, because they're great creators. They make lovely free music for us all. Don't forget your back stitches. They're very important when making sure that everything to stay secure. So we're going to check this one as well. Yeah, everything looks like it's attached quite well, so we're going to bring that down. Use our measuring stick, see if that goes good, and it is. Okay, now we're ready to sew along this side and this side. And then the sleeves will be hemmed and it's time to close up the shirt for the Velcro. And then it will be time to put it on the doll and see how awesome it looks. And then we'll make them a pair of shorts. There we go. That's all sewn. Now we're going to sew the other side as well. That's finished. Now for the best part. Now that everything is sewn in place, you take your pieces and show yourself the finished side, the good side, and fold your shirt towards you. Make sure that the pieces fold like this. Then you line everything up, starting at the bottom, because you want to make sure everything down here is lined up for your Velcro. So pin this in place, pin this in place, make sure that your sleeves are lined up, pin that in place as well. Then pin here as well. There we go, now that's all straightened up. Do the same to the other side. Pull this down, and then line up your bottom first, because you want the Velcro to be straight. So that's all lined up. Take the pin and pin that right there. Then get your sleeves. Perfect. Make sure those are all lined up. Pin that in place. And pin right here to make sure nothing moves around. So now it's ready for sewing. Make sure the pin right here is showing 1/8 of an inch there. So now we're going to start where that pin is. That will be like our mark. And then you can take your marking tool and then sketch yourself a little line to follow so that you can see where you want to end up. Or you can take your measuring stick while you're sewing and then drag it along to see if you're keeping the 1/8 of an inch that you would like to keep while sewing. This one reminds me of Minecraft. So now, do a double back stitch. Sew along the edge. Just try to make sure that your foot's clean up next to the edge. Or use the measuring stick if you feel more comfortable with that. Then triple back stitch right here, because that will help it stay nice for your children. Triple back stitch right there as well. I need to set my thread back up because it fell. Excuse me. Now sew the same amount on the other side and do the triple back stitches as well. The triple back stitches help with extra security with your doll clothes. Make sure we're still doing good. Alright, the triple back stitches are done. Now it's time for the bottom. Right here, we're going to open up the shirt and then hem the bottom so that it'll be ready for the Velcro. Make sure to let the seams decide where they want to lay down, because that will help with the bulk. So if you tug it and they go, like these want to go this way, so I'll set them down where they want to go. Oh my. The music is so random about what it wants to play. It's like quiet and then super loud. It cracks me up. We're using Uppbeat today for our free musics because they have great soundtracks. Yes, we're on an adventure now. Close to the end, so the phone is saying the excitement of we're about to have a shirt to put onto our broadcan, and it's exciting. So now that's fully pinned. I forgot to bring out the measuring stick again. I'm so used to doing it without one. So, perfect. I have the exact imagination of what a 1/8 of an inch looks like. That's called experience, bro. Oh, I crack my own self up sometimes. So, everything is truly an 1/8 of an inch. No lies. So, we're going to sew the bottom now. Back stitch right here, keep going along. Perfect, perfect. Everything is nice and straight. Sew along, yes, we're doing good. And now it's time for the Velcro. For the Velcro, because that means it's time to put it on the doll. And that's my favorite part, is dressing them. Then we'll take care of all these stragglies. Turn the music back up because it stopped being loud now. Couple more. Alright, now it's time for the Velcro. Where'd my piece go? It is missing. That sucks. Okay. Let me get another one. Anyway, here's the Velcro piece that we're going to be using. Split this apart. And we're going to decide which side we want to be the outside. That side looks good. I think this side is going to be the outside. It looks the best. So we're going to put the fluffy Velcro on the inside because it's the easiest to sew. The rough side is a bit more difficult to sew across, so I want that to be on the inside so we can be messy and it's okay. The outside is the presentation area, so we want that to be as nice as possible. And the soft Velcro helps us sew and do a good job because it's easier to sew through. This is my first time doing clothes live. I don't think I'm doing half bad. What do you guys think? I have a feeling this one's going to be loud. It's intensifying already. Just going to do it 1 octave lower. I cut off the excess, so now the Velcro is completely hidden into the shirt. Now this guy's going to go on the outside, like this, so that when we are done putting the Velcro on, we can clasp it. Yeah, now it's dramatic. First it's like, and then it becomes dramatic after that. It's like, happy music, dramatic music, happy music. I need to make a playlist that's way happier, but anyway, we're in the tense area now because we're about to put the Velcro on. And it's going to go on to the doll. So, that's going to be the best part. Hey. Screw you, stragglies. There we go. Now, it's time to snip this off. And then we'll put on the Velcro by sewing around both edges. And then it will be able to close up and put on the doll. So, I'm very excited about that. Let's pull the machine closer so you guys can get a good look. Now we're going to put the needle into the specific song for the reveal. I don't know. Whatever it lands on will be the reveal music. Probably something quirky. So Velcro doesn't really have a specific seam allowance or place you gotta sew. You just gotta make sure that you catch it. My head's like, help me. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a dorky, silly song. I feel it coming. It's gonna be like, wah, 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 like Scuttles from Ariel. It's dramatic. The dramatic effect. This one sounds like a boy got lost in the woods. And then he's trying to find his way back to the cottage. Almost done, almost done. There we go. Now it's time to finish up. Almost there. Stand up, young sir. Yes, my thread is a sir, because I said so. So we're gonna cut off the excess, because we got some going on here. So we're gonna cut that. Cut here. Get all the little stranglies. I call them stranglies because why not? And then it's ready. We're done. The the shirt is finished. I don't know why I was thinking about a dress, because we're not making a dress today. We're doing broadkin shirt. So we did it. The broadkin shirt is put together, and now we're gonna set it onto the doll, and then we're going to make him the shorts to go with this lovely poppy shirt, because it is full of color, and I love it. There we go. Perfect. The shirt is done. Now, it's time to make the shorts. So close this one up and put it aside. Alright, now, take your shorts. I know they're a funny shape, but this is going to become the pants that go with the beautiful shirt. Now it's being dramatic again. Dude. Anyway, we're using Uppbeats for our music today. So we're gonna sew across here. Where's my measuring stick? Here it is. Ken's hiding it. So we got our measuring stick, and we're going to sew along right here. Perfect amount. Yes. Now where's my... Here is my stick, my pencil, not stick. And we're gonna mark a little bit where we're gonna sew. I like that music better, much better. So this is perfect right here. Yeah. Music is like a joyful sound now. We're making the shorts. So, it's more cheery now, finally. So that's where we're gonna start. Perfect. You can use your measuring stick to help you along as you sew. There we go, that's that. Now you're gonna take this, and it wants to go this way, so that's where we're gonna let it sit. That's what you gotta do. When you see your seam like that, give it a good tug, and wherever the seam lands, that's where it wants to sit. And it will help with bulk issues. So just pull that down. Where's my measuring stick? You take this. Make sure you got enough. Why did I sew back and forth on the top of the shorts? Oh, because we want a back stitch. Back stitches help the thread not come undone. See? It's nice and strong now. And it won't come undone. So that's what back stitches do. They help the seam not come apart. So that's why I back stitch at the top and the bottom. It helps with security when you want to, so it won't come apart on you when you're trying to put the outfit together. Because if it comes apart, then it won't be high quality. What's with all the Harrys? Shoo! There we go. Okay, now, we're making the casing. I think the casing's like whatever's one up from 1/8 of an inch. Like the next dot up from 1/8 of an inch. This thing, whatever that is. See that right there? That's how big the casing is. Oh, I like this song. That's cool. Anyway. I wish all the songs were like this one. I like it. Perfection. Now it's all flattened and ready for sewing, and then we'll be able to put the elastic in. There we go. Back stitches are always the thing that help make sure that all your seams are secure. You found dabbing in the YouTube emojis. That's funny. RP Treasure Shop is hilarious. She's my mod today. Phone says that shorts are more cheerful. I'm doing it again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so used to just rolling. So anyway, we're back to 1/8 of an inch on the sewing for the hem of the pants. Make sure you use your measuring tool to get it all in place. You are paying attention. You're doing a great job paying attention. Uppbeat Treasure Shop is so helpful and playful. I like her as a mod. Alright, now we're going to sew the bottom of the pants. She also has a YouTube herself as well, so don't forget to follow her if you want to see her quirky personality. I love watching her videos. Why 1/8 of an inch? Because that is the smallest you can get for a Barbie, and Barbie seams are very small. So 1/8 of an inch is a really good amount to help you be able to sew, because if you go smaller than that, look how small that is. That would be really, really difficult to try and keep. And also, this likes to fray. So if you were gonna do it smaller, I would suggest to roll your fabric. Then you could have a small hem without any fray. So anyway, both ways are gonna get you at 1/8 of an inch. So make sure that you get your 1/8 of an inch out for doing the sewing, because that will help with fraying, like to make sure you have enough room for the fabric to get old and it still will be nice. Like when fabric gets old, it starts to fray away because it's been played with so much. So like, see, it's trying to fray, but this has plenty of room, so when you sew right here, it's going to have plenty of time to get wear and tear and not get worn out on you fast and quickly. So I try to make sure that all of the products are perfect so that you can have a long-lasting item for your doll. Now we're back to the dramatic again. It must be sensing that I'm almost done. Alright, perfect. Now we have the casing. The bottom of the pants are hemmed. Now it's time to put in the elastic. I have 1/8 of an inch of elastic. I know, everything's 1/8 of an inch around here, but this is a nice size for Barbie clothes because it's very small, but not too small. Like the smallest you can get is elastic thread, and that doesn't hold as well for a Barbie pair of pants. I've tried it. So 1/8 of an inch elastic is a great size for Barbie doll pants. If you accidentally sew over a pin, will it break the sewing machine? Yes, it will break the sewing machine needle. I have done it before. So you're going to get a 5-inch long piece of elastic, because that's plenty of room to help you get it through the pants. See? It's going to be a great amount to help you have enough stretch for your pants. Now, the favorite part of mine is I use a hand sewing needle, an embroidery needle, for elastic, because embroidery needles are nice and thin, and that helps you to get through your small casings without having to adjust to a safety pin. So there's that. It goes straight through, see? Now you don't have to adjust for the safety pin. You can push through, get it all the way through. Make sure that you hold your tail because you don't want to lose it into the project. The music died. We're gonna have no outro music. Okay, let's keep it going. I need to find some more music. Be patient with me, my dears. Come on, wake up, phone. Go. Come on. After a while, it likes to die out, and then I have to turn it back on again. Okay, today the elastic doesn't want to come through, so we're going to take out some pliers. These aren't really pliers, they're made for buttons, but I stick the needle into this hole, and then grab it and pull. See, now we have enough for both sides, plenty of room, and then you can pull both sides, and then it will start to gather the elastic for you. Then you can keep it folded in half, pull. So you gotta make sure that it does this. If you can do that, it will fit the doll. I don't know why, but this is exactly the amount of stretch you need to fit on your doll. And that's with every doll pattern that I've ever made. Alright, now we're going to risk breaking the needle because when you have your elastic, you got to keep this in here because if you don't, these will go back into the, how many inches of stretch is that? I'm not sure. The phone died again. So we got their measuring stick. Let's see. About 3. You can stretch it out to 3. And then gathered, it's at 2 inches. So about an inch more of stretch so that you can have plenty of room to set it onto your doll size of choice. So we're gonna sew here. Okay. Back stitch it a couple of times. That helps it stay. Well, my thread gathered. It snapped. Apologies, my dears. We're gonna go back and do it again because my thread's being a dork and it snapped. So we're gonna go back and do it again because we want to make sure that we catch it. We're on Happyville again. My music's like, oh, it came undone. How dare you? We're live, honey, we're live. Yep, the thread came right out. Let me put it back. We're almost there. It's putting me behind. Oh, come on. Go in the hole. There we go. Perfect. Now it's in there. This is ready. Now let's sew over it one more time to make sure that we caught it. There we go. Much better. Now, it's time to do the cool part. This is what it looks like when you're finished. We're going to cut these off because now we know that it is attached really good. So I'm going to cut those. Get rid of the fuzzies and furries. Now, this is the shape that it is before you form the shorts. And then when you pull and match up the crotch areas, it becomes the shorts. So there we go. Now we pin this to make sure that's lined up, and then we pin down here and make sure that's lined up, and then we pin the middle. For bulk's sake, you pull, and then this side wants to go that way and this side wants to go this way, so let it fold where it wants to go. Now we can sew across here. Again, another 1/8 of an inch. So take your measuring stick, and then we can start right there. And then you can also use a pen, chalk or whatever to make sure that you stay at an 1/8 of an inch. So back stitch 3 times. And when you get to the middle, okay, we're good. Back stitch 4 times. That makes it extra, extra secure. And when you get to the end, 3 times. Make sure that stays extra, extra secure. Now we get to cut off all of the hairies and then put it onto the doll for the final reveal. The song's gonna end totally before I get it onto the can. Yep, told you it was gonna end before I get it on the can. Oh, it's still going, never mind. So we got rid of all the Harrys. Now it's time to turn these right side out. Turn it right side out, and then we'll be able to put it onto the doll. Did my music totally die again? It's not fair. Now it sounds like crunching leaves. That's interesting. Anyway. What the heck? No, it wasn't a commercial. It was a song. Like background music. Anyway, we're gonna take this off and then put on the final shorts, and then I'll do an overview of what the outfit looks like on the doll. Oops, I'm putting it on backwards. Yeah, totally. It was the weirdest song I've ever heard in my life. It's like somebody hesitating and breathing or something. Okay, let's get it onto his britches. I'm almost there. Alright. We did it. We made the outfit. Perfect. Just gotta get a few more stranglies. That's what I call them. I don't know why. Yeah. Pull up those panties. Exactly. Alright. We're ready. Let's get rid of all this junk. My desk is messy from sewing. Okay. Are you ready? There we go. There's this outfit. We made an outfit live. It's awesome. Again, if you guys want the pattern, it will be on my Etsy. And I'll link this video so that you guys can watch it. Even though there was a few fumbles here and there, we put the outfit together. And I'm so glad that all of you joined in and we put an outfit together. So I'll see you all in the next live that I do someday, sometime. So, thank you very much.